Hello and welcome to Midnight Musings with Bren and Jay. I'm Bren.
I'm Jay.
And what are we going to talk about today?
The new Star Wars.
Oh, yes, we are. We went to see it at the midnight launch, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
So, just a pre-warning, this is going to contain a fair few spoilers because we're not going to regulate what we say. We're expecting you to have watched the film and, you just you're looking for feedback or seeing what other people have thought about it, because there's a lot of negativity floating around about this film, isn't there?
There is, yeah. It's divided everyone, I think. Fans, journalists, it's yeah.
Yes, the Rotten Tomato scores are a particular topic for many people, saying that they're quite low. Mm-hmm. And it's scored lower than Phantom Menace,
I think,
out of all 9 films?
Yeah, it has a few reviews I've read or watched have said that they rank this as the worst Star Wars film.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even saying Solo was better.
Yeah.
So, and yes, we all know how everyone felt about Solo. I quite liked it. But anyway, you before we went to the cinema, you went and watched The Last Jedi.
I did, yeah.
And then you went straight into The Rise of Skywalker. So what were your expectations going into The Rise of Skywalker, and what did we find when we got there? Let's get going. Act 1.
Yeah, so basically, coming from The Last Jedi, I mean, it's an okay film, and it's an okay film. That's pretty much all I can say about it. But
that's kind.
Yeah, I know.
Kind.
But you just get this feeling like Rian Johnson came in, didn't like what JJ Abrams set up, so he set up his own story again, and then
by killing JJ Abrams.
Yeah, and then so threw all that out. So, we all know at the end of The Force Awakens, she goes to meet Luke, and it's all very cool. And at the start, he just goes, lightsaber, and then, okay, so Luke's now this arrogant old man. It's just it's not Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
And then the film happens, and at the end, he kills off Snoke, and Rey's parents are nobody. That mystery's gone, and it's okay, now what?
Yeah,
Where do we go from here?
What are you going to do with the next movie?
Yeah. So, enter Rise of Skywalker, Act 1. It felt like JJ Abrams, in the first half an hour of the film, went back, made the film he wanted to originally make for Episode 8.
In the first 20 minutes of Rise of Skywalker. It did. That was the one big problem about this new one for me, was the pace of the first act. It's just, bah, fix this, fix that. Oh, we're going here. Let's find this compass. Let's get that. Oh, we're going to thingy. There's a fleet. Even
the title, the text scroll at the beginning, everyone's kind of talked about this whole Emperor Palpatine's voice being in the trailers. Oh, is it going to be a mystery? Is he going to come back? And then the intro scroll was we received thing, Emperor Palpatine's back, and everything. It's okay,
it was let's forget all the build up. Let's just boom, he's back.
Yeah, it was all right. Well, they wasted no time confirming that. But so it went into all that, and I honestly think the whole first part of that film was what the number 8 should have been. The Last Jedi should have been that middle bit. It felt like this whole film was 4 hours worth, shortened down to 2.5.
Absolutely. I mean, the part where Kylo Ren is getting the compass, the Wayfinder. Is it the Wayfinder?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Planet hopping, wasn't he? And
to find that whole plot line could have been the middle film. Yeah. Couldn't it? That could have been the entirety of the middle film, and instead it's kind of just shoved into this small space. It's a shame. And I think that's the problem with the Star Wars films as we've had them is we haven't had one person's vision from start to end, and it's not been one story that's been broken into 3 segments, and it's had different directors putting their own stamp on it. Yeah, and then JJ Abrams coming back to try and fix it all. And
it felt like a lot of this film was damage control. Yeah, even to the point of General Hux. Mm-hmm. They sort of replaced him as well with a new general. Yeah. I can't for life of me remember the name of the actor now, and the British actor. He was really good in it, but it felt like they had to. They had to put a new person in there because this General Hux in the last film was made out to be a comedic character. Yes. He was like a whiny sort of. Yeah,
he didn't have much authority about him, did he?
No one would listen to, even because the opening scene of The Last Jedi is Poe taking the mick out of him.
Hi, I'm holding for General Hux.
This is Hux. You and your friends are doomed. We will wipe your filth from the galaxy.
Okay, I'll hold.
Hello?
Hello? Yep, I'm still here.
Can you Can he hear me?
Yeah. And it's just like, well, that's not really a first order general, like a leader.
You want a tyrant, someone that's real powerful. Like, you know, he wouldn't stand up to the likes of bloody hell, Grand Moff Tarkin.
No,
really.
No,
you know, he's a scary dude.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
and you need someone like that to be in charge of everything. So
yeah,
I think it was a good replacement.
Which is why I think they took the decision to, and again we already spoke about spoilers, but spoiler again, why they took the decision to make him the spy.
Genuinely shocked by that moment.
Yeah.
I was just like, I had no idea. I was just as shocked as Poe Dameron in that scene. He's like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was really good.
Yeah, but again, I felt like damage control to me because it wasn't built up at all. Like there was no sort of hinting before that, and then once it was revealed, they killed him off.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, well that neatens up that plot hole. There we go, done. Move on to the next.
Exactly. So again, more damage control.
Yeah.
For the sake of bringing the story back on track, which it took a while to do, but once it did get into that meatiness of the film, it felt like it slowed down a little bit. You know, when they went to the the desert planet. What was it called again?
Don't know. We watched it last night.
We were very tired.
Yeah.
Got home at 3 a.m. There was that party and everything, and it kind of like it felt like it like sunk into it a bit. There was a few cringy moments, I guess, but
yeah.
I guess we suppose we should talk about those. I mean, there was a lot of nostalgia and callbacks to other movies and stuff, mainly with Billy D. Williams.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, Lando Calrissian when he showed up. It was great when he showed up because like him and Chewie kind of like you know that was cool.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of other callbacks, but I think I don't think they were out of place. Like I felt like they slotted neatly enough into the film without too much disruption. You know, I'm all for fan service, but when there is too much, it can be a bit.
Yeah, but as you said, it didn't feel like the film was riding on the fan service. It wasn't like relying on that to propel the film through.
No, it was riding on damage control, absolutely.
Yeah.
It was basically saying, fuck you, Rian Johnson, all the way through.
Yeah. But everything from the Snoke clones and how...
That was cool.
Yeah, how Palpatine was the one pulling the strings all along, and the damage control with Kylo saying that Rey's parents were no one, and then he reaffirmed that point by saying they were no one.
Yeah.
But his father was Palpatine. It was just like, it felt like...
It's like, I technically didn't lie. They are no one.
They are no one. But... So it did... I mean, I know I'm sounding really negative about it, but I did genuinely really enjoy the film. But the more you think about it, the more you feel like, oh, God.
Why?
If only the middle... So the whole... Kylo and Rey and all them looking for the compasses to get to Palpatine, all of that could have been the second film.
Yeah, it really could have.
It could have finished with the discovery of Palpatine's back and Rey's lineage, like where Rey came from.
Yeah.
That could have been the cliffhanger at the end. But then again, is it then mimicking Empire Strikes Back too much with the ending of the film realising that, spoiler, Darth Vader was Luke's father? It's just like,
I don't think that's a spoiler anymore, is it?
Gotta be careful.
But no, I felt the end, I mean, as well as doing damage control, I felt that Star Wars was in such a bad place at this point after Rian Johnson ruined everything, that it felt like to me that JJ Abrams was not only doing damage control, but he was also playing it safe by not delivering something unique. It was very much staying within the Return of the Jedi formula, and you know, even mimicking parts of it, like where Palpatine's like, you know, when the roof opens up and Rey's looking up and seeing the fleet getting destroyed and stuff, and he's like, your friends are all going to die, you know,
using it as the trigger to turn her. And
and it was kind of exactly what he did with Luke in Return of the Jedi. Like, he's looking out the window, all his friends are dying, all you've got to do is strike me down.
And your training will be complete.
So it kind of, it had like just massive callbacks but even with that, I did enjoy the film. It was a visual spectacle, but it was just a shame that it felt like Rian Johnson, what he did with his movie, kind of just ruined any chance of making anything kind of unique. I mean, they could have done some really cool stuff. I mean, Rey could have turned to the dark side, and Kylo Ren could have, you know, gone back to being Ben and gone, and it could have flipped. You know, where Kylo Ren becomes the hero that has to stop Rey.
That was my prediction for the film going into it, and at the middle point, I thought it was going to come true with Rey going and her already showing her power and that she kind of can't control it and could possibly turn.
Yeah.
And then bring in Han Solo back, and then Ben turning. I thought, okay, maybe I'm right, but no, they kind of that clever at the end without throwing Rey to the dark side.
Yeah, it worked out okay, but it felt like it was good, but it just played everything a little bit too safe. It was just too flatline, we'll do this by the numbers, there's a battle, the rebels win, cheers.
Yeah.
You know, it's...
The one thing I can say which carried over from The Last Jedi, which I do still really like, is the connection between Kylo and Rey. I thought that was done still really well in this.
There was I had a few questions though about now I've never seen this done before in any kind of Star Wars like story, or unless something was in the book about it, but I was unaware that Jedis could move objects through time and space like they do in the film, like with Kylo Ren grabbing that necklace that Rey was wearing, and then they discovered what planet it was from. Yeah,
and then him hitting the pillar on his ship and then realizing that's where they were.
And then even the lightsabers like
clashing,
making contact with each other. And then at the very end, when Rey goes to strike Palpatine, but then she transports her lightsaber to Kylo Ren. I just thought, like, can they do that? Is that lazy writing?
I think that's part of the new Force powers which JJ Abrams said that he was going to introduce to this film, which might divide fans. Because I mean,
it felt a little bit too. I don't know. If this was a multiplayer game, I'd say OP.
Yeah, you know? I think it's trying to. I can't remember. They briefly mentioned it in the film, but they're linked. It's like kind of like a very rare occurrence. It's never really been seen before, but they have like this Force link between the two of them.
Force link. Yeah. So maybe only Jedi that are Force linked can do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, well that would make a little bit more sense. A rare thing. Yeah. Not every Jedi can do it.
No, but I mean, there's a few more powers in this one as well. Like, I mean, I've never seen anyone stop a lightsaber using Force.
No,
because they both managed to do that, and then there was the healing as well.
Yeah, I've not seen the healing before.
No.
No.
Not in the mainline films. Again, there's so much material out there, books and comics and lots of other stuff.
It's hard to like figure out what's canon and what's not these days, isn't it? So, unless you see the Mickey Mouse logo on everything, I could safely assume it's not canon.
Yeah, but yeah, there's a lot of Force powers in there, but I guess it was trying to show how powerful they both are.
Yeah.
And the other thing I like this one as well is JJ Abrams brought back the Knights of Ren, which he set up in the first film and then Rian Johnson forgot about.
Yeah, I mean, although the Knights of Ren were in there, but they didn't do much more than kind of walk around corners in groups and stand there looking menacing before then walking off again.
Yeah.
And it culminated in them having a clash with Kylo Ren in that final scene, wasn't it? So they were in there, but it felt like they were a little bit still underused. But
I think they were just thrown in there because that was the only place where he could bring them back in and use, just to kind of tie up that which he set up in the first one. Because
they should have been in the second.
Yeah.
But they weren't.
No,
because Rian Johnson.
Yeah. So I honestly think there's one or two things about The Last Jedi that need to carry on into this one, like Luke obviously dying with what his sacrifice, and then the setup of Kylo and Rey becoming linked. Other than that, I think you could completely omit The Last Jedi and go straight from The Force Awakens to Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, you could go straight into it, and it's a shame. Like, if there was a longer edit of the front end of that film, you know, you could just bridge the gap between that and, like, you know, add a bit more text on the front scroll to just fill in a couple of gaps. You don't even need the Rian Johnson movie.
No.
Like, at all. But, yeah, overall, I felt it was good. I want to touch on a couple of cringy things that I noticed.
Okay.
That I was like, that's perhaps a bit controversial. I don't know. But, like, okay, so in the end scene when everyone's kind of celebrating and everyone's hooray and high-fiving and hugging and stuff like that, it suddenly focuses in on this lesbian scene where two lesbians embrace and share a kiss. And I was like, it just felt a bit like here's Disney ticking a wokeness list, just going like, look how progressive we are. It wasn't just like a subtle moment that was joined with the rest of the celebrations. It was like a specific, focused in, look at this. Yeah. And I remember thinking like, you probably didn't really need to focus on it. And it's when you bring attention to things like that, then it's like people get like, why are you bringing my attention to this?
Yeah.
It was a similar thing with Endgame when all the girls lined up, and some people were super offended by it, and some people were like, well, there was a lot of great heroes on that battlefield. Wouldn't it have been more powerful if they were all stood in unison together?
Yeah.
It's like you're making a point of all the women being there for the sake of that point. So it felt like Disney were doing that again. And
I know what you mean.
Ticking that box, but it was a minor thing. It's not really a big issue. But I've noticed a lot of people on the internet talking about it, so I thought I'd best bring it up to be all inclusive of this this review of the film. But overall, then, final verdict, based on everything we talked about. What was your overall takeaway from walking out of the cinema after seeing it?
I liked it, but I wanted to see it over 2 films. I wanted it drawn out more. I also I liked how, this is the thing, I've seen a lot of people as well complain that the whole story with Finn wasn't explained, like with the whole stormtrooper deserting. That was never. Yes. They were saying that would have been a nice story arc throughout the trilogy.
Yeah.
But I like this story arc. I like Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren out of this new trilogy, I think, is the standout character.
Yeah.
I think Adam Driver did a great job of portraying him, and he's my favourite character throughout this thing, and I think it's his story.
Yeah.
It's definitely his story.
It's definitely his massive character arc, isn't it? Yeah.
So the fact that his character arc got completed, I'm happy with the film. I'm happy with this with this trilogy.
With just touching on Finn again, it was nice to see like Finn kind of like getting those powers, those like as in his insightfulness, like the Jedi kind of traits coming out in Finn a lot more when he knew that the signal was coming from the command ship in the final battle, and they were like, how do you know that? It's like a feeling.
Yeah.
And he starts having like force sense moments and stuff, and I thought that was quite cool, like seeing that. So it was kind of like his arc, I suppose, got completed, but he was set up in the beginning to be such a much more important character, and it feels that fizzled out.
Yeah, he took the sideline. He was the sidekick, unfortunately, but he was a great. I think he could have been used a lot more. But
and also Captain Phasma, she was criminally underused.
Yeah, and
that droid as well, the evil droid that was like kind of foreshadowed in the
Last Jedi, the black version of BB-8.
And then they never did anything with that. No. And he was kind of bigged up to be an important character.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, they could have done a lot more with this.
Yeah, I think it's because they know droids sell. Even this Dio, the new one, all the merch is around him, but I mean, he played a very small part. It was funny. He added the comedy thing to it, like an anxiety-ridden droid.
Yeah, no, that was really good. I did like that little guy that reprogrammed C3PO.
Oh yeah,
he was so cool.
He was great.
Like when he did it, and he was just like, it was so funny. I mean, overall, it felt like a lot of films crammed into one that could have been dragged out over, another film. We could have done with another film before this one, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
But overall, I enjoyed it, but also I recognise it's a shame that you can see that it's just damage control.
Yeah.
And it could have been so much better, but I was happy that we got what we got. If that makes sense, I'm kind of happy with what's there, but it's a shame that it couldn't have been more.
Yeah,
I think that's it. But if you've got some thoughts about Rise of Skywalker and you'd like to join in on this discussion, then drop your comments down below, and we'll enjoy reading those and responding to those as and when we get them.
Yes.
Anyway, that's all the time we've got for. I did it again. It's all the time we've got for today. I think that's what
that's the one.
For this evening.
Yes.
As always, I've been Bren.
I've been Jane.
And we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.